Hello, great people. President Bola Tinubu has been vigorously appealing to the northern political elite to accept him as regards tax and 2027. Now, both are intertwined, and I'll be untangling it for you because the tax issue is connected to 2027, and the president is beginning to feel the heat from the north because the northern political elites are not backing down. So the Tinubu presidency have been trying to appeal to the political elites in the north that please accept the president. The president has good intention, and at the end of the day, as they say in the street, he go favor me, he go favor you. As they favor me, he go still favor you. But then the northern political elites are not buying into the lyrics of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You will recall that the president introduced a tax reform that we cannot continue to do things the old way, in the sense that you cannot say you don't like alcohol, you don't want alcohol to be consumed in your state, but then you are sharing the tax from alcohol. That let us restructure this thing. That our party, the APC, preach restructuring. That guys, let us restructure this thing based on what we promised Nigerian. But then the northern leaders have cried out that no, 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 no. We won't allow this because this doesn't favor the north. Let the status quo remain, which is that as they are drinking beer in the southern Nigeria and we are sharing the money, that's okay. As money is being shared based on population and land mass, we be saying that one favor us, that's okay. But for you to want to change it, no, Bola, we won't agree with you. And the people that are championing this, interestingly, are even governors in the APC, and that makes it interesting. And there's this unity among the northern political elite across party divide. The governor of Kano State, which is a product of the NNPP, is within the political circle. The governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, of the PDP, is among, and also the governor of Nasarawa, Gombe. So this is across party line. The north is united. But one thing I can say, especially to leaders of the north, is that, especially those of the APC extraction, is that Tinubu is what you made him to be. Tinubu, as he is now as president, the way he's ruling, that he didn't even consult, is what you made him to be. But before I expatiate on that, let me say something for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is that, you see, do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, you will always come back to do it because there's no alternative to being right. The only alternative is wrong. And sometimes being wrong will not get you the answer. It is only being right that can get you the answer. So in a democracy, you need to get your permutations right just so that you can vote and retain your position as president. If not, you can't play or toy with the vote of the north because the north has this substantial vote in Nigeria. So always do the right thing, in the sense that this consultation, this appeal that you are now appealing, that okay, the northern political, that you are now sending emissaries, as being reported in the media, that you are now using back channels to kind of like get support for your tax bill. Definitely, if you have done that earlier, then there would have been some trust. Another thing for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, before I go into how the northern political elite, especially of the APC extraction, made him what he is now, is that, you see, sometimes the way you rule will signal whether people will have confidence in you or not. Which is that if the key monetary positions, CBN governor, minister of finance, all this tax, key, anything that has to do with money in Nigeria is being occupied by Yoruba people. And you now want to introduce a tax that has something that is strongly connected to also finance, and you didn't consult these people. What do you expect them to do? Of course, that suspicion, that ethnic suspicion that has always been in Nigeria, will come into play, and that is what is hurting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the moment. So the first thing is always do the right thing, because if you don't do it, it may end up hurting you. You cannot always be smart in the two sense of being smart. You cannot always outsmart everybody, because people will put their pen to paper and begin to calculate. He favor me, he no favor me, then they will speak out. Now, let us go to how the North made Bola Ahmed Tinubu what he is, in the sense that they encouraged Tinubu when he was ruling allegedly like an emperor. You will recall that when the president became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on May 29, 2023, he said he's going to consult, that his administration will not take any decision without consulting the people. All of a sudden, but Bola just went off script. The little time, like maybe 30 seconds, 1 minute, where Bola go off script, but I don't commit. The next thing is first subsidy gone. Just like that. And when he did this without consulting the people, the northern political elite, who are supposed to give him the strong opposition, whether of APC or PDP, doesn't matter, because there's always this ethnic vibe when it comes to support. We saw it during Buhari. The North didn't criticize Buhari, despite the fact that Tinubu, sincerely, in fairness to him, have not done worse compared to Buhari in terms of nepotism. In terms of appointment, ethnic-based appointment, Tinubu never do reach Buhari. Let's be clear on that. I'm not supporting nepotism. My past videos attest to it. But it is a fact that Tinubu, he never do reach Buhari. Tinubu still they try. Like, he they do and small, he they, you know, understand? He they watch, he they, you know, he they look before he act. But Buhari doesn't care. Buhari doesn't give a damn. He's just going to do what he's going to do anyway. If other tribes like, make them cry from now to tomorrow, that's none of his business. That's how Buhari ruled. So now let us look at this thing. When Tinubu removed the fuel subsidy, the northern political elite, they didn't say anything. Why? Because the removal of fuel subsidy will bring more money into their pockets. That removal of fuel subsidy, it will give them more money. The governors that are opposing Tinubu now will have more money in their pockets. So they didn't say anything. They didn't oppose it. Tinubu imposed the removal of fuel subsidy like an emperor, and without little or no resistance, despite the fact that the North that is crying now that this tax reform will impoverish them, they didn't know that the removal of fuel subsidy will impoverish their population, because can they afford fuel for over 1,000 naira? If you think there is poverty in the South, if you think people are poor, go to the North. Go and see the real definition of poverty. And one of the instances, as I've told you before, is that the bed that you are no longer using in the South, the furniture that you are no longer using, you will see they'll pack it inside trailer. They are taking it to the North. That shows that what is condemned to you is still usable to them in the North, despite the fact that the North has held power more in Nigeria than any other region or ethnic group in Nigeria. And during the week, I'll be talking about how the northern leaders have preyed on the gullibility of the northern masses, how they are using them as instruments. But that will be coming during the week. Now, let's just go to point 2 of how the northern elite encouraged Bola Ahmed Tinubu and it's backfiring on them now. How they made him an emperor-like person, which is when Bola Ahmed Tinubu floats the naira, and he said, "Oh, that naira should find its value." The northern political elite did not say anything, because that favors them in the sense that if government is no longer subsidizing the dollar, government will have more money in its pocket, and the more money government has in its pocket, the more money that the state will be able to earn, they will be able to share at the end of the month. They didn't say anything. Why? Because it favors them, not knowing that you are building Bola Ahmed Tinubu to become an emperor gradually, as he's coming up with those policies in a democracy without consultation, without giving the right approach to it, negotiation, dialogue, all these principles that are crucial in a democracy, without abiding by them. You don't know that you are building him, you are emboldening him, you are strengthening him. All of a sudden, Bola Ahmed Tinubu now introduced tax bill. You all are now shouting. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is what you made him to be, and that's why it's not always good to be supporting wrongdoing. The third one is when Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed electricity, increased electricity tariff. The North did not say anything. These northern governors, this northern ruling elite, just like the case of the floating of the naira, just as the case of the removal of fuel subsidy, because if government is no longer paying money for electricity tariff, it's no longer subsidizing it, government will have more money to share and the state will have more money, despite the fact that government have been sharing more money since Bola Ahmed Tinubu got there, thanks to Labour that advocated for increase in minimum wage. If not, all this ruling elite, they wouldn't have done anything about it. When they are collecting the money, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a good man because his policy favored them. They didn't know that they are building Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They are sharpening his, emperor skills. And at the right time, when Bola Ahmed Tinubu now roared and they feel threatened that this one, people like say favor also, they now started clamoring. But then it is too late. But what I can tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that in a democracy, you have to be strategic. You have to know how to embrace the principle of dialogue. Because the truth is that you need these people, you need the North. So what these backroom channels and you trying to appease the North, begging them, as I have asserted, they are one of the people that made you who you are now, and I'll be glad if they pay for making you who you are now. But the truth is that if you have any interest in 2027, that's just the free political consultancy I can give. If you have any interest, you know that you still want to become the president of Nigeria in 2027, you need to soft pedal, you need to be more strategic, you need to be more engaging, you need to embrace dialogue, you need to know how to convince people, how to sell your ideas to them and make them embrace it and fall in love with you. But you ruling like an emperor, trust me, did not fire you so hard in 2027. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science. Do want to subscribe, catch up with my past videos, and of course, I have great interesting videos coming your way. By the way, make sure you follow me on Facebook, and I'm also on TikTok. We will make it happen. Till I see you again, I love you all sincerely.